Hi, everyone. For this podcast, I had planned to sing you another mill song. This time I was going to sing James Taylor's Mill Worker. However, I am worried that I would be violating a copyright. I think it's prudent to stick with traditional songs. In fact, I'm grateful to Ewan McVicker, who wrote Shift and Spin, because he commented on my podcast, the last one that I did. I should have asked him for permission to sing it on YouTube. While I'm not monetizing these podcasts, I do want to respect the songwriters, since I'm a songwriter myself. But I still want to direct you to a mill worker because it's a lovely song and really captures the longing for a different life, which you hopefully glimpsed in the jute mill song and Shift and Spin. You'll find a video link to JT singing Mill Worker live at a concert in the comments section. So instead, I'm going to take you on a trip to Scotland. Back in 2017, my husband and I traveled on a sort of song pilgrimage, I guess would be the right way to put it. We visited places that are named in some of my favorite songs, which turns out are mostly ones carried by travelers, which I'll say more about in a subsequent video podcast. And to start off with, I'd like to sing the Dowie Dens of Yarrow. I feel safe in saying that some songs are completely made up. Maybe they're based on some archetype. And some songs are based on true stories, at least loosely. Long ago events that are commemorated in songs certainly morph through the centuries, and we lovingly refer to this as the folk process. You can check the multiple references to Dowie Dens on Strictly Norfolk, and the link is in the comments section. There are many versions of this song, and it's highly discussed among the border ballads. There are many from the southern lowlands part of Scotland. Some say its origins are in the north of Scotland, though the event takes place in the south, and some say it resembles a Scandinavian song called Herr Heller. This could be following that archetype thinking, as the northern parts of Scotland have had a lot of influence from Scandinavia over the centuries, many centuries. This is a tragic song, thought to be from the 18th century, based on an event that was supposed to have occurred in the Yarrow Valley. Ettrick Forest, where the Yarrow Valley is a beautiful place, and the Yarrow River flows through dens, or secluded wooded valleys. I guess they are wooden if they're, no, that doesn't make sense. Secluded wooded valleys. Some versions of the song have many more verses than I'll be singing, and in some versions, the lady is married to the plowman, who's plooman lad. In some cases, she's courted by the plowman. She's pregnant. She drinks his blood in some sort of bizarre pagan ritual. In some cases, it's the mother or the father or the brother who interprets the lady's dream. One consistent thing is there are always 9 noble lords and the plowman lad. In some variations of the song, she dies from grief, or there's even allusions to suicide. Somewhere, however, I also read that Dowie Dens of Yarrow was based on a true story that, this is a quote I read somewhere, that any child can point you to the stone that marks the place, and it was with directions to the location of this stone that my husband Kent and I found it in a pasture. We climbed the stile, and whether this story is true or not, you can see me in this picture next to the stone. The stone did have some markings on it. They are unreadable now. With a bit more research, I think you can see that this is the glebe stone. And there's a quote from the author of the website. I think it's a guy named Martin McCarthy who did the photography of the stone, so you can see it is the same stone I'm standing next to. Here's the quote. "This stone stands in a pasture field by the main road with fine views over lovely landscapes. It stands about 1.5 meters tall and was, apparently, surrounded by a cairn from which were removed many bones. The area is reputed to be a Dark Ages battle site, with many records of cairns nearby, although any such cairns have long since been cleared away. There are plenty of cobbles around the base of this stone, but no real signs of any cairn mound. There are a couple of deep depressions in the lower part of the stone, But people more knowledgeable than me don't consider these to be genuine cup marks. That's the end of his quote. In the comments section, I've added the lyrics and some Scots language translation to help you understand the song. The song will tell you the story, so I give you the Dowie Dens o Yarrow. There lived a lady in the north. You could scarcely find her marrow. She was courted by 9 noble lords, and a plooman lad fae Yarrow. They 9 sat drinkin at the wine, sat drinkin wine in Yarrow, and they've made a vow among them all, for to fecht for her on Yarrow. She's washed his face, she's kaimed his hair, as oft she's done afore. She's made him like a noble lord, for to fecht for her on Yarrow. So he gaed doon the high hills, down to the homes o Yarrow, and there he spied 9 armed men, for to fecht for wi him on Yarrow. There's 3 he slew, and 3 withdrew, and 3 he wounded Celia, till her brother John came in fae behind, and has wounded him maist foully. Oh, feather dear, I dreamed a dream, a doot it will bring sorrow. I dreamed I pulled the heather sae fair on the Dowie Dens o Yarrow. So she gaed doon the high hills, down to the homes o Yarrow, and there she spied her lover John, lying pale and cold on Yarrow. Her hair it was 3/4 long, the colour it was yellow. She's wrapped it round his middle sae small, and has bore him up frae Yarrow. Oh, feather dear, ye've 7 sons, you may wed them all tomorrow.